they were. I think I got hired largely because I had a background in publishing. So what they didn't realize was that was an aberration in my career in many ways. And they said they want to change it. And a couple of companies don't speak with one voice. They never, it's hard to speak about the collective will of a company. Some people wanted to see change, kind of knew what they thought it looked like. Other people maybe thought changing this weren't sure what it looked like, and other people maybe didn't like it. But I think they got a little more than they bargained for. But I think that's important. It's I feel like if I have to take risks at work, if I can't come in and bring my whole artillery set and toolkit to bear on problems that I see, if I feel like I'm holding back, I just can't do that. So, I think it's really important to be comfortable taking risks, doing the thing that you do, whether or not you're strictly hired to do it, and let that be someone else's problem. If they want to fire me, that's fine. I don't have to think about that. They have to think about that.
There's one thing that you mentioned that really stuck with me. So Intercorp is going through a process of digital transformation. And you mentioned that the New York Times has been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah. So
when did you get to say all right, we're transformed now? Are we going to be doing this for 20 years, or what gives?
So I don't think you should ever want to stop transforming. We might not use the word digital so much. It's already kind of a weird, digital transformation is kind of a weird concept. It's pretty vague. It probably means different things in every different company, but we have a little bit of a sense of what it means, so it's a useful term right now, but we might drop the digital part, but the transformation part, we should never drop. And I think actually, when companies go through these periods of intense change, learn from that. Learn how to keep changing. Don't ever stop. That's valuable. Never waste a good crisis. It's I forget who said that, but I think it's George Schultz. Maybe it's a good phrase. So in 20 years, I think we're actually pretty far along. In terms of the business itself, we're pretty much, I would say, just past the tipping point in terms of knowing our future is a digital subscription business, having our focus on that, knowing that's where our growth is going to come from. But there's still a long tail. There's a lot to drive along behind, and a lot that we still have to learn.
In that process of transformation, we are discovering many things. One of these things that we're discovering is that people who used to work in IT, or people who used to be IT managers, suddenly are now you're the CTO. It's a new thing.
Yeah.
What's CTO? What do you do?
In one sense, there's a really obvious answer to that question, which is I work on technology and I make sure that our systems are good and that they're evolving and that I'm putting a good engineering team on the field as well. But frankly, I'm asking myself that question because, again, from a couple of dimensions. One, what else can I do as a CTO? To me, at the times, I'm someone who's been more exposed to the front lines of how to do digital product development, what the consequences of that are, than most people in the company. So I feel I could play a bigger role in overall challenge/transformation of the company than CTO might be expected to, and I'm just going to take that challenge. The other part is I worry that overemphasis on engineering is a bad thing. That's not the way forward. The way forward is more about cross-functional teams that pull together from all disciplines and work together. That's the thing we should be focused on. That makes it even harder to figure out what a CTO should be. But I try not to worry about it too much, and I come in and say there's a problem and I try to fix that.
Peter Drucker has this famous quote about culture needs strategy for practice.
Yeah.
Do you think this is always the case, or is it ever strategic for a company to actually shift and change its culture?
So it's one of those phrases that sounds kind of great, and if you overthink it, it starts to be weird and not make sense anymore. But I think the fundamental insight being you can make plans and that's nice, but if you can create an organization that can read the situation and basically plan for itself, that's way, way better. And I think that's what Drucker is getting at. And it's about the dynamics between like planning by, or managing by plan versus managing by objective. And it's always a better outcome, much harder, but a better outcome if you can create an organization with teams, pass them problems, have them solve the problems, which they'll do like eagerly because they have the right culture and the right mindset. That's going to beat like trying to plan everything from a small team of masters.
And that's really interesting pattern there. You're talking about teams focusing on problems, and I think we're all here very used to the technology people. They'll sit together and they live on one side of the building. The marketing people, they'll sit together and they sit on the other side of the building. You've mentioned this as an anti-pattern, so like don't do this anymore. If that's not what we should do, how are you organizing your teams for better delivery?
Yeah, so I know how we're organizing the teams. We're organized as like cross-functional teams who are, from people from whatever the business domain, whether it's ad sales or marketing or the newsroom or pre-production, whatever it is, plus product design, engineering, data, all working together to be able to take it down. That's the theory. In practice, it's way harder than that. And we're still working through this at like the next level. It's one thing to set those teams up, but how does the culture work? Does it really support that? What are people's incentives? Who are they getting judged by? What, and who sets the objectives of that team? Who decides that they've been successful? That's a lot harder, and that's why, having put a lot of work into creating an engineering culture, I now kind of want to blow it up and replace it with the cultures of these cross-functional teams. So we might have a team that's focused on cooking. We have an app and a product line that's New York Times Cooking. The culture of that team, which has all the functions represented, is probably way more important. Because they're going to do something, they're building stuff, and they're building a business that's going to drive results. So that's a transition we're still in the middle of.
Without getting too technical, but Conway's Law is something that gets quoted a lot when having this conversation around technology and organizational structure. Can you briefly articulate what that is? And
sure.
Do leaders need to be more aware of Conway's Law nowadays than they used to before?
So Conway's Law is an aphorism, basically, that says that software companies ship their org chart. So the structure of the software and the products that they ship represent their organization and how their organization works. And this is it's actually incredibly old. I think that Conway, I forget who he was exactly, formed this thought in maybe it was the early 80s, maybe even the late 70s, so early days of software, kind of relatively speaking. But it's very true. It's very hard actually to break. I feel like these days, just don't break it. It's actually powerful, and it actually goes to this idea too of how software design or organizational design can inform each other and support each other or work against each other. What I would say is think about your products, think about what you're trying to ship, and shape your organization around that, and then Conway's Law is working in your favor rather than try to overcome it.
We have around 33 companies across the digital portfolio. One of the conversations that we have a lot is what is the right flavor of transformation for any given company? Based on what you've seen in the New York Times, is there a right and a wrong way to transform the company to make it more digital, or are there different flavors and you need to find whether you're a chocolate person or a strawberry person and then follow that path?
I think there have to be different flavors. One of the reasons that I was happy to join the Times is that actually we're super focused. It's one company with basically one product, and we're all focused on the same goal. So I don't have that problem right now. I've dealt with it in the past, but I think there are different flavors because there's different kinds of businesses. Consumer-facing businesses versus B2B businesses are going to feel different. Their businesses are at different stages, and so on. So I do think you need to take a tailored approach, and there's also the art of the possible and what's achievable. So I think careful thought about what's right for a particular business is super important. But then you need some principles that you come back to make sure you're not just pimping out
So I want to open it up to the audience, or just a couple more questions from my side. And this is something that I've heard you mention in the past.